Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
This is your Weather Extreme video for Sunday, December the 5th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters, and thought we'd recap yesterday very quickly. Here's the Helena Christmas Parade Committee, and just a fine-looking group right there. And then here is what I was doing when I was emceeing the parade events as they came by, and the ladies off to the left of the picture are the judges for the various floats, and then the two off to the right were helping keep me straight on what was going on. Well, let's get to some Skycam imagery, and here's a little dark this morning. We're a little bit earlier than usual, and here is the Montevallo shot as we look at the campus down there. And for the most part, it is cloudy, but there's a look at the street at Fayette, and certainly well lighted with the Christmas lights and all, but kind of quiet. I don't see a car anywhere in sight. The front that we were talking about yesterday came on through as we were expecting it to, and now the air mass is being replaced with a much colder air mass, and that'll be reinforced with a northwesterly flow. You can see here that we have a good northwesterly flow, but we also have some reinforcements with some shortwave troughs in that flow that are going to help to reinforce the cold air, with Tuesday and Wednesday probably being our coldest mornings. Although there's probably not going to be a lot of difference. But speaking of cold, the single-digit values are well into the north-central United States, and there are some minus 30 values up there in that orange in the extreme upper part of the picture. So very, very cold. Temperatures a little more uniform, although we do have a cloud mass over the northern, about the northern half of the state approximately, all those blue dots, and you can see temperatures generally from about 34 to 40, so a little bit smaller gradient in temperatures. And there's the infrared picture, a little close-up, and you can see the clouds. Might get a few sprinkles out of that, but probably very little. QPF-wise, we're not expecting anything. The next 5 days will be dry. As a matter of fact, the next 7 to 10 days will be dry, and the possibility with hard freeze, so dry and cold is going to be the forecast. All right, the 06Z GFS model run. There's the surface map for today, and the 540 line just about on the Tennessee River. The front you can see draped across the northern Gulf and across the Florida Peninsula. The northwesterly flow being reinforced. Here comes one of those short waves down the back side of the trough. And as it does, of course, it's going to push the 540 line all the way down to about Montgomery. So definitely going to be a chilly morning Monday. The trough stays there. And look at that northwesterly fetch. Boy, you follow that from from eastern Tennessee, and you just follow that all the way up there. It's yeah, that's a pretty good fetch, and that's going to bring the 540 line, or keep the 540 line actually, in our neck of the woods. We've got that little disturbance that is coming through the Texas Panhandle, not the Florida Panhandle, but on Wednesday it is in the Florida Panhandle, and GFS still not doing much with it. It's pretty much dry, but that helps to bring the 540 line down to near the Gulf Coast on Wednesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, I think Tuesday will be one of our coldest mornings that we've seen since about the middle of February, and then Wednesday is going to be pretty nearly as cold, I think. And things begin to moderate just a little bit on the 9th, Thursday the 9th, as we see the overall flow doesn't have quite the amplitude that it did, and that brings the 540 line back into Tennessee at least, so out of the state of Alabama. The flow remains a little bit less amplified, but we've got a shortwave trough moving across the Great Lakes area, and that pretty much is dry and cool, but not especially cold. We stay that way on the Saturday the 11th, but notice that trough coming in north-central United States. By Sunday, that thing is deepening. And so a week from today, that could be some interesting mischief. We'll have to watch. You see at the surface, the 540 line dives down to south of Jackson, Mississippi. We got a surface low. So Going to be interesting to watch what happens. This is Sunday the 12th, and let's just go out. I know this is into voodoo, but the 13th, we have once again a very sharp trough with a high amplitude to it and a good northwesterly flow, and that definitely brings the 540 line all the way down to about Ocala in the Florida Peninsula, and certainly cold air covering much of the southeastern U.S. And as the low pulls out up the east coast, it looks like we could be in for a very good storm that might bring a pretty good winter weather event to the mid-Atlantic states in New England, and the possibility of some wraparound snow showers or at least snow flurries. And that's around the 13th. So we're getting into voodoo here, but certainly interesting pattern to be watching. Now, going well out into voodoo, the pattern does moderate around the 16th. So we'll see a little bit of a warm-up, but don't count the cold air out just yet. Here we are on the 18th, and this looks like a repeat of what we're experiencing right now. And then finally again on the 20th, at the end of the period, 372-hour forecast, we're back into that northwesterly flow pattern. So if there's one thing I can say about the future forecast for the next couple of weeks, the word cold comes to mind. Well, thank you for tuning in. James Spann will be back with the next edition tomorrow morning. In the meantime, I hope that you have a great Sunday, and Godspeed.
Each day there are new stories to tell about the people who live here and the place we call home.
All of the faces that I see, all of the places close to me, they're all part of all the best things about home.
Sharing your stories on ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader.